Hello and welcome everyone to Wednesdays with Barbie. I'm your host Eric Houston and I'm joined as always by Barbie. Barbie, how are you?
Hi, Eric. I'm just fine today.
Yeah?
It's a production day, ha ha.
It is. We're making the show today.
Yeah, we gotta do something funny.
Okay. Well, it was...
Anytime I get to be at a show with Eric is fun.
Well, and likewise, Barbie.
Thank
likewise.
you.
You're welcome. Now, the people watching at home wouldn't know this, but this is your first day back from almost a week-long vacation for the 4th of July. How was the 4th?
Oh, the 4th was very nice, but very, very hot. They say it got to be 95, but it felt more like over 100. They said it was the hottest 4th of July since 1986 or 89.
That's pretty hot.
But it was pretty hot up there. I hear you had some wonderful weather down here.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, you were gone too?
I was in Wisconsin.
Well, maybe it was hot there, huh?
It was okay.
Yeah?
It was kind of nice.
Well, they say they had a beautiful 4th here,
Yeah.
so. But it'll come. That's
Yeah.
Minnesota for you. But then, other than that, we traveled well. No hazards. We managed okay. We stopped and had breakfast on our way up at a really neat little restaurant because it looks like a big long railroad car, and they do have very good food, and it's fun to go up there. And then we of course go over past it's like Monticello has, what do they call that, the energy plant?
A nuclear power plant?
Yeah, the nuclear power. And they have the one over in Becker, too.
Yeah.
And so then we drove from there and get right over on the highway 94 and on our way up.
Did you see fireworks?
No, only a little bit on TV. The kids, some of them brought some stuff.
Yeah.
And did quite a bit that way. But, you know, we're older, so it isn't. I think it's really wonderful for especially the young kids. We always did that when the kids were little.
Sure.
Made sure we had to go to fireworks.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago we went and we drove 25 miles. You're in the country, you have to drive quite a ways to enjoy a lot of things. So I didn't want to be driving out there and then fight the mosquitoes and everything else. So we opted out of that.
Yeah. You know what I saw
No.
for my 4th of July? I saw a submarine.
You did?
I did. We were in this town in Wisconsin called Manitowoc.
Yeah.
And they have an old World War II submarine in the harbor.
Oh, how interesting.
It was pretty interesting.
I bet you took some nice pictures.
I took a couple of pictures, yeah.
Oh, good. Gee, what a fun.
It was fun. And the other thing about Manitowoc, it's where Sputnik landed. I know.
That's quite a few years ago.
That was quite a few years ago. That was quite a few. We're talking about going back in September for Sputnik Days.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think so.
Especially when it'll be a little cooler. It'll
Well,
be
sure.
fun. It
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be, anyhow.
Well, fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're kind of doing a little something special today with the show. Viewers at home might remember that back in I think March,
Yeah, it was our March show.
we had a special tribute
One of
to your
my
sister.
favorites.
Yep, we had a special tribute to your sister Margaret.
Yes.
And this month we're having a special tribute to your sister Bev.
Yeah,
And
in
Bev,
memory of my sister Bev.
and she passed away a few years ago, but her birthday would have been this month. Is that right?
Yes, in July.
Yeah. So tell me about Bev. What was she like?
She was fun-loving. She was humorous. She had she had a good attitude about life in general, and she was a good mentor.
Yeah.
She was 7 years older than me. Oh, goodness sakes, what do we talk about years for? Who cares?
Well, I think
I'm
I
gonna
think we
try to
actually
do.
I think we have some pictures of Bev. Let's see if we can pull up that first picture. So that's Bev, right?
Yeah, I don't remember for sure if that might have been just a couple months before she passed away. It will be July 11th. She died 5 days before her. July 16th was her birthday when she would have been 55. So she's been gone for 24 years.
Yeah.
And to lose all these different ones in my family, you know, it's tough when you start losing the circle of your your relatives. They're usually your closest, you know, and then your friends that are out there too. But It's tough at times, but Bev was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we have a picture of her, I think, when she was younger. It's the same picture that we have up on the screen today. How old is she?
I think she was 14 there. I thought she
14.
was older, but
Yeah.
her daughter said she was 14. So I don't think I was that cute at 14.
You think it's a pretty cute picture?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
She had a little necklace. It looks like it was an anchor, probably a little. Anyhow, they're cute to have.
Yeah. All right, let's see the next picture we have here. Now this is, who all is in this picture
Okay,
here?
that was Bev's husband, Joe. And the girl next to him was, her name was Charlotte, but we called her Chucky. And then her little sister was Joanne, and then my sister Bev. From what Joanne told me, this might have been taken right up above the St. Croix area over Taylor's Falls, because they were probably going for an Easter dinner or something with their family, because they were all dressed up, and that was about at Easter time.
Yeah.
So, and they were pretty little then. So.
Yeah. And I think, now did you tell me there's a third child missing from the picture here?
Yeah, on this one.
Yeah.
Glenn was later. I can't remember what year. He's closest to my daughter Shelley's age, and she was born in '64. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at the last picture we have here, and this is you
Bev and I and her little doggy. I can't remember what his name was, but that was some little corner over in Bev's house. And
well, it looks like you two are having a lot of fun.
yeah, we always did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed going over there.
Yeah. Well, you can tell. You can tell you guys loved each other very much.
That's true.
It is true. It is true. Now you told me, so Bev was the middle of 11. Is that
middle,
right?
I would say pretty much about the middle of 11. Yeah.
And you were, people might forget, but you were the last.
I was the last. I
were the
was
youngest.
the bumper.
The bumper?
Yeah, the bumper. The bumper.
Okay.
Caboose.
And you said she was 7 years older than you. And how many sisters were there total? You know, how many boys and girls in the 11?
Oh, okay. I had 4 brothers, and we have 1 yet living. Then I had 7 sisters, and 3 are gone now. So there's still 4 girls yet living.
But Bev, right in the middle, and you told me she was kind of a rascal.
Yeah, in some ways she was.
And did you or she, get into fights with your other sisters?
I don't think I was really right involved with the fights, but I used to oversee them, or scream or yell and stuff, tell them not fight, don't do that,
Yeah.
But, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna, you were telling me about there was one fight involving a slip?
Yes, I don't remember now if that was a full slip. It was the girls, they wore a lot of slips back then, or if it was a half slip. But Bev had this slip, and the girls were pretty close in age, and so whenever they had something new, it seemed like they liked to try and snitch it off them or borrow it, so to say, but they just took it. So one of them was going to be going out, that was down in Virginia, going out on a date, and wanted this slip to wear, so she just took it. So Bev was a little upset about that, because she would take my property. So they were kind of funny about that, but I'm sure that a lot of siblings to each other, if they are close in age, they have that. Mine was more with my girlfriend. She'd borrow sweaters from me. I'd never get them back.
What kind of friend is that?
Well, she liked my sweaters.
I suppose so. Now, so then Bev got married, and she told me she got married kind of young too, right?
Yes, I think she might have been 16, 17. She was fairly young. That's a young mom.
Yeah, and she married
Joe. His name was Joe, and he was from Wisconsin, and he was a bricklayer, and he'd worked in construction. He was I considered him a very meticulous type of worker. He was very good at his work, and I liked Joe. He had a lot of good humor to him, too.
And then, so they got married, had some kids, had a house together. And did you still visit her, your sister, after she kind of moved out and started her life with Joe?
Oh, yes, I used to babysit a lot for him.
Oh, okay.
And so that was downtown Minneapolis, not far from where the HCMC is right now. So it was over by Elliott Park. And I babysat before they had the second little girl. And so I was probably, by the time they had her and she's little, goodness sakes, I was probably 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of babysitting for all the different ones of the family.
Yeah. They pay you pretty well for that?
Oh, yeah, like
Yeah.
quarter an hour.
Ooh.
That was
you-
good money back then.
Did you have full refrigerator privileges?
Oh, of course I did. I didn't care if I raided it. I still had fun eating what I could find in the house. Or the cupboard, too.
Well, of course.
Cookies and crackers and cheese.
Now, you told me that you used to go over to their house with your accordion.
Yeah, over Bev's a lot, yeah. I had that over there, and she'd end up getting her neighbors over to hear me play, and I thought, oh. But, they reminded me of that quite a bit as I was getting older. We remember you playing your accordion. So
Yeah,
I had to get into the act.
And what was, you mentioned that Bev had a favorite song she liked you to play.
Yes, the favorite song that she really, really liked. And in fact, I played for her memorial service, which most people were there just as visiting and stuff. And so, but it was called Mansion Over the Hilltop. And it had such pretty words in it of, you don't have to have a mansion here, but you'll have a mansion later. So it was, again, just a like Bev,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she...
About living a humble life.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, I would say she did.
We already talked about her being a rascal and, kind of stuff around the house and stuff like that. But you told me that she pulled a couple of pranks at your wedding.
Oh, yes, here we go, because Martin says, don't bring me up at your shows and bring up my name. I said, well, that's too bad. It's already in this one. But anyhow, when Martin and I had gotten married, Bev, and it was a kind of a tradition, I don't know if they still do that, but they kind of like to kidnap the bride or the groom. And my sister was getting together with some of the other gals and sisters, and we're going to go chase Martin. Right? He gave them quite a chase. They couldn't catch him. But if you catch him, you get to do whatever you want. You can take him to a few bars, or you go to a restaurant, or take them to a bowling alley, or whatever. They do the same thing with poor brides, and I feel so sorry for the brides. I don't feel sorry for the guys.
No.
But Martin, he outran them.
Oh, they didn't catch him?
Nope, they couldn't catch him.
No. And you told me they put a chivalry on your car. Am I saying
It's
that right?
called the chivalry. It's like when you, like if they know where you're going to go and stay. Like years ago, a lot of them would, get to have a little cabin or someplace, and boy, they would ransack the place. But with the car, they put all kinds of words around, just married, and then they put a bunch of cans and they hang them on the back end of the car with ropes or something. So it's a memorable, fun thing.
Yeah. Now, but yeah, so, I know that you miss Bev very much. This isn't the first time that you and I have talked about her and that she's come
Yeah,
on.
it is. It's hard to remember. It doesn't seem like it's that long. She went at a very early age, and it was hard to take. Taking her death was hard.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad, I'm glad that you had this opportunity to remember her
Oh yes,
and share her life with everybody watching. And
yeah.
I know that the two things that you told me that you remembered most about her were that she was a good buddy to you and a good listener.
Yes, she
And-
was.
Well, I'm sure she would appreciate this.
Yeah, I hope. I'm sure. Yeah, and her kids too.
Absolutely. They're going to have something now, a little
Yeah.
help them and grandkids remember.
North Metro 14 is our channel. At North Metro TV, students at Centennial, Blaine, and Spring Lake Park High Schools can sign up for free classes in studio production, professional cameras, and computer editing.
It's everything we need to make our own TV shows and put them on Channel 14.
And best of all, it's totally free.
Get started by calling 763-231-2803 or by visiting northmetrotv.com.
All right, and welcome back. All right, now for the next part of our show, Barbie asked if we could do something a little bit different. And Barbie, you're going to ask me some questions.
Oh, well, yes, that's going to be a lot of fun.
That is going to be so. Here they are. Here are the questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, this is really going to be fun.
This is going to be fun.
Well, I should have put the answers down too when I go. What is your full name?
What is my full name?
Yeah. Yeah.
My full name is Eric Ross Houston.
R-O-S-S?
That is correct.
Ross Houston.
I have the same middle name as Ross Perot.
Oh, my goodness sakes.
I
That's a
know.
good way to remember it.
Isn't it?
Where were you born? And then also when?
I was born in 1982 in a hospital. I think the hospital was in LaPorte, Indiana. But at the time, my family lived in New Carlisle, Indiana,
Oh, wow.
which is a teeny tiny town.
Was that a lot further than from South Bend?
No, it's maybe 15, 20 minutes from South Bend.
Oh, so actually you grew up around that area then?
Yes, I grew up in kind of one area of Indiana.
Oh, because this question will kind of cover that too.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Where were you raised?
Where was
So
I?
when-
I was raised. We moved a couple of times when I was growing up, but we lived in New Carlisle, and then we lived in LaPorte for a couple of years, and then we lived in South Bend, and they're all in kind of the same part of Indiana. That's where I'm from.
It's very good.
Thank you. Am I
You're
getting
an
these right?
Indiana- What do they call you? Indiana?
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers?
Hoosiers.
Oh, Hoosiers.
Yes.
You're a Hoosier.
I am a Hoosier.
Are your grandparents alive?
All four of my grandparents are alive.
Wonderful.
In fact,
That's
my
very nice.
dad's parents are going to be celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary this
wonderful.
weekend. Yeah, that is wonderful. And then my mom's parents live in Arizona now.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever been down there?
I have not been down there.
You'll have to make a trip.
They'll have to make a trip or pay for me to make it. No,
No,
we definitely
sounds-
want to go visit them one of these days. Hopefully we
yes,
can do it soon.
It would be wonderful.
It would be wonderful.
Where did you go to college?
I went to college at the University of Notre Dame.
I kind of half thought that, but that's
Yeah.
part of Indiana, isn't it?
Yep, that's in South Bend, actually, although Notre Dame is its own city. Has its own
okay.
zip code and everything.
But it is part of South Bend,
Well,
so
it's
you
in
didn't go
South
very
Bend.
far from town, huh?
Nope, no, I just...
Did you finish? Did you stay at the school when you?
No, I had my own apartment.
I mean, but you didn't stay at home then.
I lived with my parents for a year, and then I moved into my own place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a little brother named Chad.
Chad, and how old
Chad.
is he?
Chad is 25. He just
so
turned
you're.
he turned 25 last month.
Oh, so you're just a nice 3 years apart.
Yeah, about 3.5.
How long have you lived in Minnesota?
Let's see. I have lived in Minnesota I moved here in 2000 and. Let's see. I graduated college in 2005, so I moved here in 2006. So I've been here for like 5 years.
Nice. Do you like Minnesota?
I do like Minnesota.
Do you
yes?
plan to continue to living in Minnesota, do you think?
For a while anyway, maybe move to a small town in the general area someday. But I like Minnesota all right.
It's nice. It's good.
Technically, I lived in Wisconsin for the first 6 or 7 months.
Before you came.
Yeah, I lived in Hudson.
Oh, okay. That's a nice area, too.
It is a nice area.
How long have you been with North Metro TV?
How long have I been with North Metro TV? I've been with North Metro TV for just over 3 years.
Wow. Very nice.
Yep,
And-
thank you.
And the position that you came in on was what you are now.
Yeah, I've had the
Amanda.
same job the whole time. I didn't work my way up from cashier.
No, but
No.
you were hired in as the production.
As a studio manager.
Manager.
Yep.
Okay.
Why are you asking me all of these questions, Barbie?
Well, I mean, we want to get to know you too.
Oh, I know, but these seem very specific. Are you trying to steal my identity?
I can't. I'm a girl.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What are your hobbies?
What are my hobbies?
I know one.
Oh, well, what's one?
You love to collect things.
I love to collect things.
Antiques. Oh, I love to go in his office.
Yep,
Have a ball.
I do like. I like to go kind of junk shopping in thrift stores and stuff like that.
Right down my alley.
Yep.
Right down my alley.
But the other thing, I like comic books.
Oh, yes, comic books. Oh. What is the oldest one you got?
The oldest comic book I got. I sold most of my valuable comics a couple of years ago.
Really?
And at that point, the oldest one I had was, I want to say, from like 1944 or so, 44, 45.
What made you get rid of them?
Because they were just sitting around and I wasn't ever reading them, so I got rid of all the ones I didn't want to read that I just bought for, to collect or whatever, and just kept the ones I like reading.
That sounds like what my grandson's doing, the one that's about your age. They had these boxes full, they fit just perfect, baseball cards.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that was like a lost thing, and then they got rid of them.
How many comic books do you think I have?
Oh, that you still have?
Yeah.
Wow. What a guess. You tell me how many boxes.
There are 9 boxes.
9 boxes, about so big. Oh, 9 boxes? Mm-hmm. Where do you have all the room to put all that?
They don't take up that much space.
9 of them?
9 of them.
Oh, Eric, you're nuts. I thought I was bad. 9?
9.
Well, I would say maybe 100 in each box. You must have 1,000.
There's about 300 in each box.
300 in one box?
Mm-hmm. So it's about 2,500 is what I got.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's kind of sick.
Well, when you get married, maybe that'll change a little bit. What's the silliest thing you've ever done?
What's the silliest thing I have ever done? That is a tough question. I've done a lot of silly things. I'm doing this right now.
And this is kind of silly?
This is a little silly.
Oh, I mean, because I get to be on the other side?
Well, yeah, sure. But let's see here. I would say the silliest thing I ever did was when I was in college.
Here we go.
You're getting excited already.
Well, I think of my grandson, your age, Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I'm sure he's got stories.
Well, this isn't this is going to disappoint you.
It is going to disappoint me?
Probably.
Oh, well, unless you were such a naughty boy.
I what? Well, when I was in college, I was the president for a little while of a club where we would get together and watch this TV show called Mystery Science Theater 3000. So we would just get together and watch a TV show. Okay? And as president, my job was every week I had to send an email out to all the people who were in the club saying what episode we were going to watch. Okay? And so I would do this, and at one point somebody complained that my emails were too short. Because I would just say, we're going to watch this one at this time, and that was it. So somebody complained about my emails being too short. So then in the next email, I did the same thing. I said the day and the time and what we were going to see, and then I typed in the first chapter of the book, The Great Gatsby, and sent that out to everybody. It was kind of silly.
So then it was kind of like, well, see, I caught up with you.
I know. But and then the campus magazine, the alumni magazine, featured that, wrote a little paragraph about that in the magazine. And I thought it was pretty ridiculous that they bothered to report on that, especially when some of my friends who had been graduated for years and never been mentioned in the magazine got a little mad that I got ink in the magazine over something silly like that.
That's publicity.
That is publicity. We're running out of time, so let's
Okay.
go ahead. I think
All
there's
right,
just
well,
2 more questions left.
Just 2? Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. If you were to have a limb removed, Which would you choose? Oh boy.
I think you had help with these questions,
Yeah.
Barbie.
I don't know.
This doesn't sound like you. I actually have an answer for this, Barbie.
Okay, that's good. I'm
Yes,
glad you
yes,
have
yes,
an
yes.
answer.
If I were going to have a limb removed, it would be my right leg.
Why the right?
Because when I was a kid, there was a movie called RoboCop. And in RoboCop, he was a guy with like robot parts, and he had a robot leg, and in his right leg it would open up, like the thigh would open up, and his gun would come out instead of having a gun holster. And I always thought that was the coolest thing. So
Well,
I would
sure
like
as
to
a-
have that.
I wouldn't want it to be my right though, because that's the one you use if you're right-handed.
Right.
I mean, but
that's where I want
though,
that's where I would want my RoboCop gun to be.
Yeah, but see, with the right, you got to have your right foot to drive your car. And
Right,
everything, so-
right. Well, might as well have robot precision then.
Yeah, you'll have it all precise.
Okay. All right. Last question.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I think, in a way, you said I only have one more question left.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip this one.
You're going to skip it?
I'm going to skip it because I got a different question.
Okay. All right.
I want to ask you,
Yes.
of the 1990s rappers,
Of the 1990s rappers, yes.
who was your favorite?
Who was my favorite of the 1990s rappers? I was not big into the rap scene.
You were, though.
I was not.
Well, then that's an argument we'll have.
Okay, that's an argument. I am going to go with Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Okay, then I'll go back to this one real quick.
Okay.
Who's your favorite member of the news team?
Who's my and now it's clear who's been helping you with these questions. My favorite member of the news team will have to wait until next episode because we are out of time.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
I'm glad because that was saved your neck.
That's a silly question.
Oh, yes, it is. That's absolute favoritism.
I know.
I would never do that.
I would never
I
do it
couldn't say
either.
you were the favorite person of North Metro. What would all the others think of me?
They would be jealous.
Well, yeah, they're all my favorite. I love them all.
Well, and we all love you, Barbie. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have questions for Barbie, you can email them to eric@northmetrotv.com, and we will see you next month on a new Wednesdays with Barbie.
And have a happy July.
Happy July. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.